Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I'm not here with Geeky Sparkles in this video. Man, it's a double dose of Dismal Disney, and she's not here. She needs to be here. So here's your woohoo, woohoo. But I'm actually sad. It's more of a boohoo. I wish she was here for this video, but she's out and about today. We're going to talk about this. Now, look, normally we don't get very political on this YouTube channel, but this involves Disney, and Disney is in yet another political controversy. There's an alleged ABC News employee who is swearing in an affidavit that the Harris campaign struck a deal for favorable debate treatment. And, we saw that, former President Trump was fact-checked and Vice President Harris was not fact-checked. And a lot of people are like, what's up with that? And everybody else is just talking about the dogs and the cats getting eaten and making memes. But, it's interesting. Again, this just shows like how much influence Disney actually has. And people talk about boycotting Disney. I'm like, well, then you're going to be boycotting a lot of companies because they have their fingers in a lot of companies. And I think people forget that Disney owns ABC until they start pimping their theme parks on Good Morning America. People tend to forget that Disney owns ESPN. They tend to forget that Disney is involved in different tech companies, and they own a lot of, smaller studios maybe you've never heard of, radio stations, and all sorts of things. But ABC is a crown jewel for Disney because, Bob Iger came from ABC, and they've had a very close relationship with Disney since pretty much the beginning. Even before Disney bought ABC. ABC was running their, Disneyland show, and they were pretty small until then. So, I guess it makes sense that they finally got together. But let's talk about this because it's making the rounds, right? It started out as being something that was pretty much contained to Twitter, X, and now we're seeing more and more mainstream media outlets picking it up. We're not seeing the major media covering it yet. I think they're trying to do some fact checking. So we're going to go with alleged ABC News employee. However, Fox News is calling out Dana Walden that she doesn't think her close friendship with Kamala Harris affected the debate at all. I'm not going to dignify that with a response, she said. Now, Walden is supposedly one of the candidates that's being looked at to take over the entire Walt Disney Company after Bob Iger leaves. We'll see how that goes. She's also the one who famously or infamously said that they've actually passed on greenlighting sitcoms, different shows, because the racial makeup of the cast was too white. You don't want another Friends situation. They have Friends coffee creamer. Have you seen this? I was going to make the joke. I should have made the joke because the joke's pretty funny. I said, if your coffee's too black, there's always Friends. Because everybody says about Friends being too white. Anyway, it's a joke. It's a joke. And I will agree. In the case of Friends, I will agree that it was unrealistically white for being New York in the 1990s, but whatever. Anyway, let's talk about this. This is coming from the main wire. Oh, hey, I forgot to pimp my stuff. I got to do that. People are like, you don't pimp your stuff enough. No, they never say that. They're like, please don't advertise your stuff. clownfishminus.com. That's the new Plus Club and store. We're going to combine everything into one site. We got some people helping us with that. So thank God, so we're going to get things done, hopefully in a more timely fashion here. But look at this hat. This is an Under Armour hat. I'm going to be rocking this hat. I love this hat. Look at that hat. You want this hat, right? Also, we've got a Dismal Disney t-shirt, which has been incredibly popular. We have sold a ton of these shirts, even on Shop Clownfish, and we're going to sell the same shirt through the new site. So same shirt, different place, but it's fun, and they're very comfortable, too. It's not scratchy and irritating like modern-day Disney. Report, alleged ABC News employee swears in affidavit Harris campaign struck deal for favorable debate treatment. Again, I have to go to a smaller news outlet because it's not being discussed in the bigger news outlets yet. I think it probably will be. An alleged ABC News employee has stated that the news outlet struck a deal with Vice President Kamala Harris' presidential campaign to give the Democratic candidate preferable treatment during the September 10th debate, according to social media posts that circulated broadly on Sunday. Social media posts include images of what are purported to be a sworn affidavit from the alleged ABC News whistleblower dated September 9th, the day before the debate. Some of the allegations against ABC News, as well as the employee's personal information, are redacted from the images spread throughout social media on Sunday. ABC News moderated the presidential debate between former Republican President Donald Trump and Vice President Harris, but the network only secured Harris's participation by agreeing to certain preconditions. The author says several social media users posted what they purported was a copy of the notarized affidavit, although it wasn't immediately clear how the images of the document were obtained or whether they were authentic. This may be why we're not seeing it. Well, and other reasons. This might be partially why we're not seeing it. Like, it should be splattered all over Fox News, and it's not yet. They're probably trying to verify. The document is dated September 9th, the day before the debate, and the author claims to have sent correspondence to himself as well as Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson, also dated September 9th, to establish a record that the correspondence was sent before the debate commenced. If this is true, this is huge. I mean, this is, I mean, you want to talk about, Disney getting a black eye. If this is true, this is going to be a huge black eye for Disney. Definitely. And this is like right after we did the video talking about Inside Out 2 and how they were giving Pixar notes, and they said, don't have it be overtly LGBTQ because we need this to be for everybody and we don't want to alienate potential customers. Well, having the debate be rigged on your news network, Disney, isn't really going to help win conservatives over or back to the Walt Disney Company. I'm just saying this is going to be a huge issue for them if it's true. The Post follows claims made earlier in the week by former Hillary Clinton advisor Mark Penn that an ABC News whistleblower would soon come forward. The affidavit, which purports to come from a 10-year employee of ABC News who lives in Manhattan, and a lot of people got laid off, so they might have an axe to grind. Tends to happen. Suggests that the Harris campaign negotiated for and received preferential conditions in advance of the presidential debate. ABC News moderators David Muir and Lindsay Davis were broadly panned by media critics for their handling of the debate, both for their lopsided and often erroneous fact-checking of Trump, as well as their light touch approach with Harris. Yeah, even people who are fence sitters thought it was kind of weird that they never once fact-checked Harris. It's not that she tells the truth all the time. But if we're going to fact-check presidents, and I don't think that's ever been done during a debate before, has it? But we're not going to if we're going to fact-check presidential candidates, then it needs to be evenly applied. And that clearly was not the case, because there were some things that she lied about, exaggerated on, and they did not call her out for that, but they made sure Trump got checked, right? And we got some really good memes, cats and dogs getting eaten. That was my big takeaway from that whole thing. I didn't actually watch the debate. I'm just like, it's going to be a shit show. I knew it was going to be a shit show. I'm like, I will get the Cliff Notes version. I don't know if I can sit through this. So we got the Cliff Notes version. I get the gist of what happened, and I thought it was pretty weird that they were calling him out and fact checking him, but not fact checking her. If the document is genuine, and they're making sure, they're saying if it's genuine, then it would appear that ABC News held up their end of the agreement. According to the alleged whistleblower, the Harris campaign only agreed to the debate on the condition that ABC News' moderators aggressively fact check Trump while refraining from asking Harris questions about certain topics. Anything that's going to make her look bad. The affidavit suggests that the Harris campaign secured an agreement from ABC News that the debate moderators would not ask about President Joe Biden's health or Harris's numerous assertions that Biden's health was not in decline. Yeah, that was pretty damn obvious. Oh, he's fine. He's fine, guys. He's fine. Everything's fine. It's all fine here. He's fine. He's fine. Oh, you're not going to vote for him? Oh, no. I'll get rid of that old bastard. Just kick his ass out the door. The campaign also allegedly got ABC News to agree to ask about Harris's tenure as Attorney General of California. Oh, that's interesting. ABC News also agreed to ask no questions concerning Harris's brother-in-law, Tony West, who faces allegations of embezzling billions of dollars in taxpayer funds and who may be involved in her administration if elected. Uh-oh. In the document, the author also claims to have audio recordings that will show ABC News employees discussing the alleged agreement with the Harris campaign. So receipts, if this is true. The main wire has not been able to verify the authenticity of this document. Here's the transcribed text of the images circulating. So this is apparently a signed affidavit. This person says, for the record, I do not endorse Donald Trump in his capacity as candidate for president of the United States. The intent of this affidavit is to address concerns regarding perceived bias within news reporting within my employer's debate that will be hosted on September 10th, 2024. Said, since the acquisition of ABC in 96, I've observed significant transformations in the nature of news reporting. Yeah, ABC of the 90s and 2000s is not the ABC of the 80s. They've all changed. They said the Harris campaign is going to receive accommodations, providing of a podium significantly smaller than that used by Donald Trump, and assurances regarding split-screen television views that would favorably impact Kamala Harris's appearance relative to Donald Trump. This was a huge issue with Biden. They never took the camera off of Biden, and when he looked lost and confused and weak, the public saw it. And if you think people can't lose a campaign based on appearances, you look at the election with JFK and Nixon, right? If you look tired and disheveled and weak, people aren't going to vote for you. Now, I don't know. That was then. This is now. Who the hell knows? It was agreed that Donald Trump would be subjected to fact-checking during the debate, while Kamala Harris would not face the same scrutiny. This was widely known throughout the company that Trump would be fact-checked. In fact, various people were assigned to fact-check observations. And they tried to stop him from appearing in a town hall on CNN. And, of course, we had the second attempt on his life yesterday. I mean, look, even for a guy like me, I'm like, this is pretty crazy. Like I've never seen anything like this in my lifetime, ever. I mean, it's just the lengths that they're going to just shut him up or shut him down are just absolutely beyond compare. I've never seen anything like this. They said this was done with multiple communications with the Harris campaign. We're going to talk about Walden. Harris campaign was provided with sample questions that, while not the exact questions, covered similar topics that would appear during the debate. Furthermore, the Harris campaign imposed restrictions on the scope of questioning, including no questions regarding the perceived health of the president, Joe Biden, no inquiries related to her tenure as Attorney General in San Francisco, no questions concerning her brother-in-law, Tony West. Internal organizational climate. I have observed a pronounced bias against Donald Trump with ABC News. Oh my God. Employees expressing favorable views toward him experienced significant concerns about potential firings or promotions. Purpose and documentation of affidavit. The affidavit is executed to document and to provide transparency regarding the issues of fairness and impartiality in the debate process and broader concerns about the journalistic integrity of ABC News. Wow. It's been signed and notarized on September 9th to ensure that the allegations set forth are formally documented prior to the debate between Trump and Harris. In addition to notarizing this affidavit, I've sent a certified letter to myself, postmarked September 9th, which will remain unopened for any future investigations. That's interesting. People do that sometimes as sort of a quick and dirty copyright or a quick and dirty, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can prove if it's postmarked and it's certified. you can prove that they wrote this before whatever date was, that it was actually mailed. I've dispatched a Federal Express package containing this affidavit sent on September 9th and delivered to my residence on September 10th, which will remain unopened for potential investigative purposes. Furthermore, I've sent a certified letter to Speaker Mike Johnson dated September 9th to establish a record that the correspondence was sent before the debate commenced. Additionally, for further investigation, I've secretly recorded several conversations. You allowed to do that? You work for ABC News and are you allowed to? I don't know. I don't know the legality of that. I've secretly recorded several conversations that will prove that the Harris campaign insisted upon not only the fact-checking of Trump, but also insisted on what questions were not to be asked under any circumstances, or else the Harris campaign would decline to participate. Yeah, it had to be skewed in her favor because Trump, love him or hate him, he will eat you alive in a debate. He is relentless. And we've seen, remember the first debate with Biden, he wouldn't even let him talk. He just hammered on him and hammered on him and hammered on him. Now, last time, he didn't really have to say much. He knew he didn't have to say much because Biden didn't know where the hell he was. But, so it's like he really didn't have to do much. But that first Biden debate, he just would not let up. So, yeah, they're going to make it look as favorable as possible. Bill Ackerman says it looks credible. Kyle Becker breaking. Again, we don't know for 100% certain, but one thing I have learned in the last couple of years that sometimes these things that start as alleged conspiracies, because even yesterday, the second attempt on Trump, the second attempt to get Trump, it's kind of like get Shorty, get Trump. The media at first did not say that it was an assassination attempt. They said it was just, there just happened to be a guy strolling by. He just happened to have a gun. He just happened to fire that gun, and Trump just happened to be playing golf. I don't know. It could just be a total coincidence, guys. And yeah, you were not allowed to say that there was another attempt. Now the FBI is saying it's okay. Lots of things over the last couple of years. I'm saying they were like, it's a conspiracy. It's misinformation. You're not allowed to say that. And it turns out like, yeah, it's totally true. Then they're like, oh yeah, we knew it all along. And then you pull up clips or whatever from like 2 or 3 years ago. Like, here's when you said this and that and whatever. Like the honeymooners. This is coming from Fox. This is what they have so far as of my recording this video. Disney honcho Dana Walden dismisses notion her close friendship with Kamala Harris affected the debate. Walden, a senior Disney exec whose portfolio includes ABC News, is one of Harris's extraordinary friends. According to a report in the New York Times, Walden and Harris have known each other since '94, while their husbands, Matt Walden and Doug Emhoff, have known each other since the '80s. There's been a harsh spotlight on ABC on the heels of last week's debate, when former President Trump was repeatedly fact-checked while Harris was not. When Walden attended the Emmys, a reporter from Variety asked about her attacks from the quote-unquote far right who said her close friendship with Harris affected the debate. I have the highest regard for everyone at ABC News. Well, apparently your employees don't, if this is true. Dana, they don't. It's the most professional organization, the most top-notch journalists. It doesn't really dignify much of a response. I don't have to answer that question because ABC News is perfect. It's practically perfect in every way. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. If this, this is like, for all the drama around Disney with the Star Wars and the whatever, if this winds up being true, the Disney-owned news outlet rigged the debate knowingly and they worked with the Harris campaign, that's huge. That's huge. That's going to just completely destroy what little credibility ABC News has left. Everybody knows it's just a mouthpiece for a mouthpiece. No, that's exactly what it is. It's a mouthpiece. It's a mouthpiece for the mouse. It is. It is. And we know that, at least the people at the very top of Disney, now there are a lot of conservatives at Disney, but the people at the very top are very much Democrats. And, and if Walden winds up being CEO, well, actually, this could destroy her chances of being CEO of Disney. If this comes out, that this is all coordinated and she's involved, there go her chances of being the CEO of Disney. Because I think that's going to be a huge scandal. But who the hell knows? You know, the general public, the reason that corporations and the government and all these companies keep getting away with shit again and again and again, the media, the reason they get away with it is because the general public has the attention span of a gnat, right? You get lied to and then you forget about it in 2 weeks. You know, if it's not on your face 24/7, if it's not on TikTok, you forget about it. And you're like, oh, no, it's always been this way. No, it wasn't. As of 2 months ago, it was this way. Now it's this way. You know, it's perpetually the present, right? It's always the never-ending present or whatever. I'm going to wrap this up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.